Speaker is Coach Ed Warinner, offensive line coach at the University of Michigan. Ed is one of the best offensive line coaches in college football. How many offensive line coaches do you know that coached at Michigan, Ohio State, Notre Dame, and also did a great job at the University of Kansas when they went to the Orange Bowl? Coached at Army, coached at Air Force, has coached in many, many colleges around the country. Played at Mount Union College and was a great player there when they were winning national championship after national championship. Ed is going to talk about the pin and pull play and the split zone read option, two of Michigan's best plays to get the ball in the perimeter.
Hello, my name is Ed Warinner. I'm the offensive line coach at the University of Michigan. I'm happy to be with you today. Sorry that we couldn't get together in person. Was looking forward to coming to Waco and speaking at the Baylor Clinic and talking about a few of our run concepts that we use at the University of Michigan that have been successful for us. So I want to try to share those virtually today. So I'm doing the best I can with the video technology. First concept that I want to talk about, we have two concepts. First of all, we're going to cover. The first one, we'll get to that. It's outside zone. And we use pin and pull primarily at the University of Michigan. So we man scheme it. And we block our inside gap on the front side if we have someone in our inside gap. And if we don't have someone in our inside gap, we're pulling. So we try to get two pullers. We try to use a front side point, and we're trying to get the ball on the perimeter. But the thing I like about outside zone with pin and pull, it's easier for the back. I mean, we want the ball on the outside, on the edge of the defense. When we call outside zone, we want it in the C gap, D gap, or circling the field. Pin and pull guarantees that, in my opinion, that the ball gets out on the perimeter. More so than true outside zone, which we run as well, but sometimes that can puncture and hit in the front side A gap. And so when we go to pin and pull, the back can just read the tight end's block. So we have the back read the front side tight end's block, and if he gets the inside gap pinned, the ball's going outside. Now follow the pullers. So let's just watch some video and progress here. Take a look at us in action. So there's our center making his point front side. Now we have calls that we make. So when we make these calls, the tackle's blocking his inside gap, guard's pulling. Okay. Center has the front side linebacker that he pointed to walked up. So he has some options here. If he thinks the guy's going to bounce out and roll over the top, then he has to be ready to chase after him in a pull behind the line of scrimmage. If he thinks the guy's going to run through, he'll stay right there. So he's kind of in a shuffle mode, seeing what that Mike backer that mugged up is doing. And when he sees him get pinned in there, he continues on around. And this is a good example of us getting the edge. This is something that's more and more common now, is the corner or the edge setter for the defense tries to cut our guard. So we have to be ready for that and try to engulf the guy and lay on him there as we're doing. Backside here, we're in a 2 tight end 12 set. So we're doing that because we don't want to get chased down from behind. So and we don't want to read it. We don't want the quarterback. We do have some pin and pull where we read, where we book the backside end, we read them, and the quarterback could pull it. But I get frustrated when we have an outside zone play that could hit for 20 like this, and the quarterback pulls it and gains 4 yards. So we're protecting the backside, scheming it up where we can block the backside read key. So our tight end on a 6 technique is going to use inside footwork. So he's going to jab with his inside foot, as you can see him doing here. We think that takes a 6 and makes him a 7. When he feels inside footwork, he'll step with his inside foot. So we get him pinned on the outside V of his neck, strong outside arm. All right. Our tackle is going to make a call that he's coming down to block that inside gap. He's going to use inside footwork unless the stance changes of the 3 technique or the 3 technique becomes a 4-eye. Then we'll use outside footwork on a 4-eye or a head-up player. But we'll use inside footwork on a 3 technique. We want to get our nose in the V of his neck, and we want to make sure we stop penetration and be strong with our outside arm so he can't spin back over the top. Like I said, the center's mirroring. The center's pulling for the point. The front side guard's pulling for +1 from the point. We call it +1, so we say, who's the point, who's the +1, who's the -1. So this is a good look at it. Good adjustment by the center. So those 2 guys pulling for us. The center was a first-round draft pick this year, a couple weeks ago by the New Orleans Saints, 24th pick. You can see he's an athlete. He can move. The right guard was picked by the New England Patriots in the 6th round. He weighs 370. 2 really good players for us, 2 multi-year starters, both going to play a long time in the NFL. Okay, we'll go to the next clip here. So here we get in a 3-by-1 set. We like this because we have an RPO out to the field. If they gave us the bubble to the field, we would take it. So it's just a pre-snap bubble. If not, we have the pin and pull here. Again, we have a front side point. Watch the center. He's peeking to see what's happening on the tight end's block, but he also has to have awareness of who he pointed to because that's who he's blocking. This guy decided to run through, so the center tapped on the brakes and came back on him. All right, great job by our tight end, setting the edge, getting his nose on the outside V, and then running the number. And then here comes our guard. When the guard pulls, our tackle. When the tackle pulls here, he's going to try to capture the outside of the corner. Corner didn't want any part of it, jumped inside, and gave us a walk-in touchdown. So we like the looks of that. So here's an example from the back view. So once again, our rule is if you have somebody in the inside gap, you block down on them. So our tackle has no one in his inside gap, so he's pulling. Guard has someone in his inside gap, so he's blocking down, and the center's pulling. Center's pointed to 11. He's pointing to the the front side linebacker, and then we're pulling for the +1 with the tackle. Backside, we have a fast combo on the backside to try to block the A and B gaps. If we wanted to RPO this off the backside linebacker, then we could put the backside guard and tackle on man schemes and then read 30 here floating in as the RPO player. Good block by the tight end. Okay, here we go. Okie defense. So again, when we get an Okie defense, we have found that it's hard to get the center through to the backside linebacker. So we make a call where the center bases the 0 nose and we pull the backside guard. All right, so we're getting a pin and pull here. Our tackle's down, guard's out. All right, nice job by our guard. Backside guard's pulling, so we have double guard pull. So when we make that call, watch the back stay in phase with the backside guard pulling. He's in phase. He feels him turn up. The guard's turning up because all he's doing is reading the block of the down block by the tackle. He's reading the play side tackle down block. Play side tackle starting to get beat across his face, so the ball turns up inside. Great job by our back. What I like is watch some of our guys. They like to we coach finishing, so watch our left guard, the first puller. Watch him finish and try to torque this guy on the dirt. He got drafted this year by the Baltimore Ravens, so he was picked in the 4th round. And then our left tackle was picked by the Green Bay Packers. So we were fortunate this year. We had 4 offensive linemen drafted. It's only happened one other time. Oklahoma did it last year. But this is a good job of our pin and pull versus an Okie or odd defense. I really love the right tackle. Watch him chase, take an angle. We tell him if you can't cut him off, get him on the hip and push him by. So watch him. He gets on this kid's hip and pushes him by, and that's a big reason that play breaks out of there. All right, here we go against Alabama in our bowl game. So they stem to an odd front. So when we get an odd front with that wide of a technique, our tight end's going to go ahead and inside release. So we make calls here. Guards pulling to log this guy. He doesn't get logged, but watch the big fella, 370, the right guard, pry this thing open. So one of our coaching points for our pullers, all pullers, take color out of the hole. We're a take color out of the hole, opposite color jersey. You see it, you take color out of the hole. That's what he's doing, and he continues to climb on up to his assignment. See how nice that is? That's beautiful. Some people call it swabbing the hole, reaming the hole, whatever. All I know is it's watch him pry. There's no hole, and then he pries it open, and the running back is aware and kind of stays in phase and finds it late and hits that seam. So that's a nice gain against Alabama. Show you that again from the top view. Alabama really tried to hard set the edge, but you can see the guard go through there. Probably if the back would have just had a little more patience, he could. If he hits this thing clean right now, it's out. This is a touchdown. All right, watch the tight end go through and rub the 5. The tackles using outside footwork here. Like I said, sometimes we use inside footwork, outside based on the technique. Our tackle and tight end get a little combo rub there up to the front side backer, and we're good to go. Excellent job running through contact there. We call it running through the smoke. We tell our running back, it's like a NASCAR thing. When there's smoke on the track, you just got to put the pedal to the metal and ride through the smoke. So we tell our backs the same thing. Sometimes you just got to run through the smoke right there. Run through the smoke. It's not getting fancy. Cover the ball, get your pad level down, and run through the smoke. And he did. He came out the other end. Watch our left guard here. This is why this is coached. So you want to coach nasty? Say that. Watch our left guard. There is no way he's letting 33 get up. 33's not getting up. He's going to lay on him. Watch him there. Bounce his head once. Good. Burp him. We call that burping him. And the ref usually will warn him. And then once they warn him, I tell him to back off. But when you're going to the ground, you're going to get bounced by our team. We're coaching. If we get you on the ground, we're bouncing you. Okay, so here's a look at it. This one I didn't like. Our right tackle, he was our freshman, redshirt freshman. Didn't use inside footwork aggressive enough and almost gets beat inside. Tight end does a great job. So here, first puller, +1, kicks. Second puller, up on the point. Backside, I love how they're fast zoning through to the backside. In the back, stretch and puncture. And we tell our back, too, if you have to puncture, then once you puncture, get back outside. So he gets back outside, and then it's a race right here. Our running back here, Zach, freshman, true freshman, had surgery before the season. He came in early, missed spring ball, had a knee scope, and then in the bye week he had another one. So this is a kid that's had 2 scopes, and he's playing against Notre Dame. He's not quite his 4 or 5 self, so didn't quite make it in there, but pretty good looking play. All right, here we go. Again, we got the tight end on the backside against Illinois because they were a hard chase team and we didn't want the quarterback. We really didn't want him running against Illinois. We pick and choose when we want our quarterback to run. Here's a good job. Watch the first puller. I tell him if you can log the edge setter, log him. So he's logging him through the outside armpit, and see we get around the corner here. We'll see it better from this view. Watch the center here. See, we're pulling the backside guard on this. if we get a tight shade or we think the shade's going to run from the backside guard instead of pulling the center, then we make a little call in there and exchange it. So now we have both guards pulling again. And we coach up chasing the ball. So 74's kid picked by the Ravens. 4-year starter for us, 74. All-American, second team All-American, and first team All-Big Ten. But watch him, he's chasing the ball. Why do you chase the ball? Because if it comes out right here, guess who's going to recover it? 74. So we're a big chase the ball and, protect the pile. They want to make sure that nobody gets late hits on our guys. Sorry. Here, we're doing a little fake cadence, look over, and then call the play. So we're calling the play based on the look. So once again, if we get that wide 9 technique, we don't have our tight end try to block a wide 9. He'll go inside and pin the defense, and we'll pull and kick out. So this thing's going to hit the C gap. All right, watch we have our tackles up in 2-point stances when we're in the look cadence. So we're looking over. Now they get the play. Both tackles, see the tackles, they're talking right here. And then, boom. We coached the center up in this game, so the center's blocking back, we're pulling the backside guard, because going into this game, when this team had the nose guard, the 2-eye, had his hand on the ground, that usually meant that the blitz was coming from the left and the nose was going to cross the center's face. So we had them coached up. So they went internal here with the noses inside hand down, but going into the game plan said his inside hand down, they were blitzing from the left edge, and the nose was crossing the face. So we had that little call on. Good job by the guard tapping on the brakes and taking the point. All right. Take a look at another one. We use all kinds of formations, as you can see. Here the center was worried about the backside linebacker because the center probably pointed to 11. So he's pulling for 11, but he's worried about the run-through. He really doesn't have to be, but he's worried about the run-through because we have a man scheme on the backside. We're manning the backside, but we have to get it to a zone scheme. If they run through, the freshman right tackle doesn't get the call. So we don't full zone the backside, but the center's making sure. Now watch him adjust late. That's why it was a first-round pick. He can block the backside A-gap and then get in front of the puller. And all right. Here we run outside zone pin and pull with 2 tight ends. So you can see this. So we have a special call for this, just so they know they're, it's a little wider hitting play. It's the same play. It's just now if the front side 2 tight ends can work C and D gaps to the front side backer, they do. Now here they get stuck on the downs. But you can watch them. They use inside footwork and then they collect them because those guys usually pinch if you use inside footwork. Now we're on the perimeter. Once again, most of these guys cut our guys, but we get the ball on the edge. Backside, we're zoning through. So we run this in every game. Here's your odd defense again. So our tackle does a nice job on the 4-eye. Tight end inside releases to pin the backer. Both tight ends are inside out. Pull, kick. And you can see with this play, here's the young back, true freshman. If he just stays in the crease between the two backs. He scores. He's a little bit in a hurry here, so he cuts back on Mike. If he just stays in the crease, we got a touchdown. And the centers are going to block the nose and pull the backside guard. So those are all calls we have. All right. Here it is, Okie front. Backside tackle cut off the 4-eye. Good. Center base the nose. Backside guards pulling for the backside linebacker. Tackle tight end combination front sides working up to 8. Backside, or the second tight end, he takes the 9. And we got 2 pullers, one for the corner, one for the backside linebacker. All right, so that's our outside zone. Aiming point for the back, 1 yard outside the tight end. Read the tight end's block. If the tight end pins the C-gap defender, stay outside and play off the pullers. Stay on the back hip of the pullers. If the tight end loses his block and the guy beats him across his face, then you stick your foot in the ground and puncture and then get back outside. We're going to pull 2 people. First puller pulls for the point. All right. Excuse me. First puller pulls for +1 from the point. Second puller pulls for the point. Center always points to the first linebacker from the front side A-gap out. Backside, we can man it or zone it on the backside. We man it on the backside if we want to RPO, read the backside linebacker. If we don't, then we zone the backside and we read the backside defensive end. If we don't want to read the backside defensive end, then we try to put a tight end or a receiver or somebody back there to distract them so we can just hand it off. Because sometimes I don't want every play to have an RPO on it. We just want some, for the quarterback, just an opportunity to hand the ball off, a play off. The quarterback needs a play off every once in a while. Give him a play off where he just gets up there and hands the ball off. He doesn't have to read and ride, decide, and make decisions and all that. Okay, guys, so I appreciate that. That's a high percentage play for us. I mean, the stats on it are ridiculous for us. That's close to a 7-yard a gain play and a 65-70% efficient play, meaning it gains over 4 yards a carry. So we like pin and pull, and we use it against every front. Heavy movement teams would put us into more outside zone, traditional outside zone. But if teams will play static with their front 4, we're going to pin and pull them. Good angles and let guys come off the ball and rock and roll. Okay, the next concept that we are really good at and have been really good at is divide zone. And we call it a slider or a term. The tight end's coming back. He's going to influence the backside end. We're going to read the backside end, and then he's going to lock the box or block the alley defender. So it's a zone read with a tight end coming back to lead for the quarterback if he pulls it. So we'll just term it slider. You can call them whatever you want. I mean, I've been places where we call zone read book, and then Bible was the slider coming back. So it's still a zone read, but you have a protector, the Bible. So let's just take a look at these. It's inside zone rules. So if you take a look here at the play, I'm going to go back to the top just to show you something here. So we're formation of the boundary. So Iowa's in their formation of the boundary adjustment. So we know how they want to line up to formation of the boundary. So they have 3 linebackers. They have Sam, Mike, Will. When our tight end does the slider back, they're going to all flow with the tight end. So we know they're going to do that. So we're not working to the first linebacker in the box. We're working to the guy who's sitting outside the tight end there, 49. It looks like his number is. So you can see the play here. So you can see the combination with the guard and center. The center's working to that hip backer. The backside combination is working to the backside backer, and we're basically If they play 94 up the field, our tight end's going to turn up inside and try to get 32 blocked. If 94 squeezes, then the tight end would go around and block 32. The receiver has 32 if he's not blitzing. If he blitzes, then he lets him go because we have him handled with the tight end, and he blocks the spin down safety. So this is a great scheme for us because if you look at this, when you zone read, it equates the numbers. They're +1 on us right here. Iowa's +1. When we go zone read, now we're even numbers. So we have a blocker for everybody, as you can see. So we'll watch this view. So the center's working to 49, and the backside combination's working to 34, and the tight end's going to find his way to 32. And this is a good example of our inside zone. Like, to me, inside zone when the ball's on the hash runs right up the hash mark. That is a beautiful inside zone play. That's called gutting the defense. So we try to hit that crease right there. He's pressing the front side A gap, and he feels the movement crossing his face. So he really doesn't cut back. He really just gets vertical. We don't tell our back to cut back. He just gets vertical. Okay, here we're in a bunch formation into the boundary. Got a motion on. Okay, got the slider coming back. So we had a lot of things going on. We had double sliders here. So one of the phenomenons with double sliders, we have a tight end slider and then the wide receiver as a motion over the top. So that's a guaranteed scenario for the offensive line where we're going to fall back. We have fallback backers, so we call that double sliders. I call it dipper. When they have double sliders, then you're +1 and there's fallback backers for the most part. Now, for whatever reason, this team we're playing did not do that. I love the backside tackle, tapping on the brakes and sitting back on this guy and creating that seam. Watch the ball go up the hash. Boom, right up the hash mark. All right, so these are good explosive runs. Watch how square the center is. The center, like I said, in this game, inside hand down, this is traditionally what they did with the noses inside hand down. Boom, they cross the face. So the quarterback's reading. The tight end should go underneath if the end's up the field. If the end squeezes, wrong arms, then the tight end should go around. So the tight end's kind of stuck in a gray area there. Here we have the tight end fullback in the backfield. So just a little different presentation. So if you like the H-back, fullback thing, right here. So now see how the tight end goes around. So he's going to influence the end, and then he's checking for the scrape backer. If that backer had scraped on the line of scrimmage, 82 would block him. That backer didn't, so he carried on and was a bonus blocker out on the perimeter here. All right, so you take a look at this. So the center would be working to 22 here, so we'd have a combo to 22. The backside combination is to the number 40, the Mike. 82 is going to influence the end and block 6 if 6 continues to scrape. If he doesn't, he can go on by him. And our quarterback has an aggressive pull mentality on this. This is not an open end. This is, somebody we're influencing the end. So we have an aggressive pull mentality if they get us to, if we get the guy to squeeze. Good read by Shea. Good run. Good job by Nick Eubanks, our tight end here. Okay, 2 tight end look here. So sometimes we want to protect the edges a little better, so we go 2 tight end look, front side. Once again, aggressive pull mentality. DN squeezes. We run right by him. We check for a scrape backer. The backer stepped up and ran through, so the tight end can just carry on to the safety or next. Easy walk in here. So this became a great 3rd and 3 call for us. 3rd and 4. 1st and 10. Anytime we want to run it on 1st and 10. But red zone, we loved it. And 3rd down and 3, 4, we loved it. See, the other piece of this, too, now is 82 could be a receiver. And instead of blocking and your quarterback running, you could just throw it to 82. So we have 2 calls that tell the tight end to block or tells the tight end to do what he did and then go out in the flat. And then the quarterback can just throw him the ball. So we have both calls. So we have divide zone with the tight end being a live receiver, and then the others where he's a blocker. And then just depends on who you want to score the touchdown. You want to give one to the tight end or want your quarterback to carry one. So that's Dylan McCaffrey, our quarterback in this particular rep. Dylan's brother is obviously Christian McCaffrey, that plays for the highest paid running back in the NFL, and his dad Ed played for the Denver Broncos, and now is the new head coach at Northern Colorado. Was a head high school coach at Valor Christian in Denver. Okay, let's take a look at this. So here we have a tight end backside. We got a push scheme. We're pushing everything here. Great job here by the back, running through the smoke, coming out the other end. And since we're pushing it, the right guard doesn't have to worry so much about the backside linebacker. He can push all the way to the front side backer. So we're pushing this scheme because we have a tight end backside. All right, center's making his point. See, here's one of the things, like watch our tackles here. We're not always up, we're not always down, we mix it up. So we're playing the zone read game in 2-point stances here. Once again, though, it's a 3 linebacker box, so the front side combinations to the front side backer, the backside combinations to the middle backer, and then we have the tight end pulling to block the backside linebacker. Watch him. He's going to lock the box there, which he does. So right here we got a pretty nice looking play. Quarterback gets the first down. Don't take a hit, get out of bounds, or get down. So good looking play there. Take a look at it. 4-down defense. So once again, we say aggressive pull, meaning because the defensive end, the zone read part, he gets distracted by the tight end crossing his face, you can usually pull it and outrun him. So here, he's running for cover. I'd love to see 82 turn up on Kenny, number 15, and the quarterback follow him for more yardage. But also, I think this was a scenario where you're trying to stop the clock, get out of bounds. This might have been 2 minutes before the half. Okay, there's our center. He's always down low. He makes the point. Our center made all the calls in the run game and all the protections. So nice job by the tight end coming out there, looking for who to block, checking backer scrape. So once again, we got all kinds of formations, unbalanced, 3-by-1, whatever we want. So now here's the throw off of it. Watch us right here with the throw. He's buck naked. Give him the ball. So we do this kind of stuff, and then we run the zone read, and then we throw him the ball. So there's our boy's first touchdown, redshirt freshman. So you run these things, and then we put the little throw on it. Doesn't really change who the O-line has. You can see they have who they have. They have their gap, play side gap on inside zone. Running back's target is front side A gap, front side cheek of the center. Run through the front side A to backside A, backside B. Really, you're just bending through those gaps. You're not jump cutting back there unless you have to. Good job by the QB. Aggressive pull mentality on those. Doesn't mean you have to pull. It just means if the guy nibbles a little bit, you should be able to get by him. Here we're in our heavy personnel. Boom, we got him. So same thing. Out of the pistol. See, we're doing this out of the pistol. So we got 23 personnel. So these have been deadly for us, this combination of stuff on the goal line, red zone. Watch the right tackle here. Watch him. He knows he can't go downfield or he's going to get called for being downfield on a pass. So some of these calls where we are going to throw it down the field a little bit on an RPO, our linemen know not to climb. So they kind of chatter their feet at the line of scrimmage so we don't get a illegal man downfield penalty. Boom. So this was the last one here. So yeah, you can use a variety of formations of personnel groups. Some people get real spread out and run their zone read, motion the tight end in. Some people have, we have really good tight ends, and you know, we'll get into some condensed formation, big people, and do it. We'll stay spread out and do it. You know, 11, 12, 13, 23, we got all personnel groups. But, you know, basically zone read, we're going to read the backside end. And, you know, if you are running some kind of slider or slipper back there and you get 2 off the backside edge, you can still run the play. You know what I mean? You can still run it because you have a blocker. But, you know, we don't get that often, and if we are getting 2 off the backside edge, then we'll maybe turn it into the throw and let the guy run right by him and throw the ball to him. But we have the combinations of quarterback keep it, tight ends blocking, or quarterback and throw it if we want the tight ends to be receivers. Linemen don't care. All the linemen know is expect fallback linebackers, especially if you get double sliders. But we are always ready for them on a single slider. So they know the difference between inside zone with a slider and inside zone without a slider based on the reaction of what we think we'll see from the linebackers. Yep, so that's kind of our call. We can run inside zone from the or zone read from the pistol, offset. You know, those are the 2 ways. We'll do both. Still have the same aiming point for the back. Even out of the pistol, he's trying to press the front side A. And that's a big emphasis for us in the offseason, to continue to get better at pressing the front side A to set everybody for the lineman and then bend back into the backside A and B gaps. So I want to thank you guys for joining us for this clinic. I really enjoyed presenting some information to you. Hope everybody stays well in COVID-19. Looking forward to getting back with my guys and my players and not having to do these virtual meetings, but get them on campus. And when the time is right and when it's safe and the proper authorities tell us that we can go, then we'll get this team ready to go. Good luck to you guys. I wish you the best. Like I said, my name's Ed Warinner, coach of the offensive line at the University of Michigan. Very fortunate to be there, working for a great head coach, Jim Harbaugh, at a great university, University of Michigan. And want to thank my assistant, Grant Newsom. He's my graduate assistant, so he helped me put this video together. And thank Baylor for inviting me, and wish you guys all well. Have great summers, and good luck this fall. And remember one thing: play hard, play safe, play hard, play smart, coach them hard, love them up, and you'll get good results. Be clear and clean on your communication. Don't make it complicated. Keep it simple. I'm a big simpler is better. I tell them less more than more. let them play hard. Reps is the most important thing, not how much you talk, but how many reps they get in practice. Make sure you get equal reps for the right side and left side. And that's what I chart every week, is how many times do we run the play and how many times do we run it to the right, how many times to the left, and make sure that we're equal numbers for these plays. And that's really all I've got. Like I said, all the best. Thanks, and go Blue.